Okay everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel today. In today's video we're going to be taking the BMW GR.4 around Bathurst for a very quick track guide. This video was taken from quite a while back. It was right at the start when I got the game, and I hadn't released it yet as I wasn't 100% happy with the lap, but we're still waiting on our pedals. We haven't had them back yet. So I decided to use this lap as a quick track guide, as it's still got us in the top 10. So I think there's some points that people can learn from the way I do the lap. And you can also pick up where I lost time on the lap as well. We'll point that out when we go through the slow motion track guide. And I'll try and point this out where you can gain probably at least half a second. I think it's possible to probably get between half a second and a second faster than the lap I did on this run. But Bathurst it's just a very tricky track, and that's why on this run, this was I think day 3 or 4 that I had the game, and I'd never driven on this track before. It was my first run completely, so I hadn't driven GR3 or GR4. So what I did was I just drove round and round and round. I wasn't restarting. If I made a mistake, I just carried on, because I find that's the best way to learn a track. Because if you keep restarting, you tend to learn the first third of the track a lot better than the mid part and the end part. So what I wanted to do was just keep going round and round. If I made a mistake, just carry on round until I get all the way round with a reasonably good lap. We did do a couple of alright laps before we got to this stage, but it's just the best way I found to do it. It's because if you just keep doing the first part, you're not going to learn the end of the lap. So we just carried on going round and round. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys watch the lap in full speed, and then I'm going to slow it down and point out a few areas for break points and a few areas where we made a little mistake, etc. Anyway, enjoy the lap and we'll be back very soon. Okay, as you can see there, a reasonably okay lap with just a couple of errors. What we'll do now is we'll go through the slow motion track guide. Going into turn 1, we're going to be looking out for the 100 on the right and the 50. We're going to brake in between them, as you see now. So we're going to slow it down there, and we're braking in between them 2 markers, down into second gear, and try and skim the apex of that curb there, and hard on the power in second gear, and then early into third gear, just to dull the revs a little bit and stop any wheel spin taking place that could unsettle the car on that curb and spin you out. So working our way up the hill, flat out now. The M4 not particularly strong in this section of track. This is where you're going to lose out a bit driving this car, but you gain it through the middle section. Now we're going to look out between braking just before that 50, in between 150, down into third gear there. Try and keep it close to that curb and get on the power as early as you can. See, we're on the full power now into fourth gear and working our way up this hill. A really tricky set of corners this, as we come into this a tight left hand down. When we just come out of the corner there, down into third gear, then second gear, I like to downshift early so we can take this corner nice and early on the apex there. Staying in second gear, a little bit of oversteer as we shift it into third gear just to dull that a bit. Maybe lost a fraction of time there. As you can see on the delta, we lost a bit of time coming out of that corner as we're losing time now. On this corner, you really want to turn it in early and do not lift, and just get your car onto the curb as you enter that corner. Now this is a flat out section. Now you're just going to use all the width of the track, turning in, hit the curb there on the left, staying in fifth gear, flat out, use some of the curb on the right. Don't be scared to keep your foot down, it won't hit the curb if you get it right. Then on this corner, I think I should have really gone down into fifth gear and accelerated. As you can see, we're down on the delta still, suffering from that little mistake, as we're just starting to gain a bit now. Now down into fourth gear, now I really slow shift down this third gear. Try and keep it smooth. You don't want to do erratic movements that will unsettle the car through the section, because this corner here with the dip, extremely difficult. Stay in third gear seems to keep the car a lot more settled, as I found. Now going into this corner again, I think I could have braked a lot later and been more aggressive. You're going to see I was really hesitant on the brakes because I didn't want to kick the rear out, and I wanted to knock enough speed off so we could stay nice and tight to that corner and get on the power early. I found that really doing that smooth and getting on the power early is where you gain time. As you can see on the delta now, look how much time we're gaining because we got on the power that much earlier. Although I still think we could have gained a bit if we would have just pushed the braking a little bit more. So there's probably a tenth or so there on the braking. Now going into the next corner, I think I should have really been changing my brake balance as well for some of these corners. Like coming into this corner, I think I should have gone maybe 2 or 3, looking for the 150, using that as a guide, then downshifting down into third gear. We see we don't really have the rotation on the car because we haven't got the brake balance enough to the rear, I feel. But we got away with it and we do it reasonably okay and get on the power reasonably well. And then working our way into the next braking point, again just after the 100 on the right hand side there, downshifting into second gear. You can see now into second gear, again trail braking all the way into the corner. Be careful you don't put the foot on too soon. We get on it really early and get a reasonably good exit from that corner. As you can see again on the delta, pulling away from our previous lap and over the line for a 2 minutes 11.562. Not the worst lap, but not the best lap, as you can see. Make sure if you want to support my channel with a tip, we now have the available link in the description, so feel free. No obligation obviously, it's just if you really want to do it, it's there for you to do. What I'll do now is I'll leave you guys with a replay from that lap, taken from the TV replay cameras, and hopefully we'll have our pedals back very soon for our T500 and we can start getting back to doing more videos on Assetto Corsa, Project Cars 2 and GT Sport. Still waiting for Thrustmaster to fix them, but hopefully that won't take too long. Anyway, make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video, and make sure you subscribe for more future videos. Thanks again for watching.